Fine.
How are we today?
We're doing good. Go ahead and scoot a little bit
Yeah,
closer.
Let's get the old microphone going on.
Yeah.
How are you?
Good. How are you? What's your name?
Just got here. Aaron Kennedy, originally from Ireland. I've been on the podcast with the guys, and originally from Ireland, now live in Catawissa, Pennsylvania.
Cool. So, there's a really cool drum that originates in Ireland. I forget what it's called.
Let's put these on.
Yeah, go put this on. Yeah.
Get real close in there.
Awesome.
get it
Here
real
we go.
close in there.
There we go.
Yeah. Well, what's your experience with drums? What?
Well, I started drumming really young because my dad was a professional singer.
Okay.
And that was an influence. So I would go to the shows just like my son does now. He's 9. And Mason comes and helps me. And that's what I did with my dad. And then eventually, at a young age, I joined his show band. And
Okay.
we would play 1 to 5 nights a week. Sometimes wearing a tux. And so I learned my craft and professionalism from that. It's
That's
great.
awesome. So,
Yeah.
what? Forgive me if this is a dumb question.
Uh-huh.
But what are some of the styles over there that you want to bring over here? Because I imagine Irish drumming or Irish music in general. There's
Yeah.
a vast history of it.
Yeah.
What would you like to bring over to the U.S. and show us here?
Well, I'm living here full time, and so I come from a modern contemporary background. I studied jazz with John Wadham
Okay.
for many years, several years, and I've done a lot of modern contemporary drumming. So we would have been influenced growing up by America,
Sure.
by Britain, by the punk experience and the 60s, and then
Right.
obviously Elvis and stuff. Then into the Beatles, Rolling Stones, and I'm an 80s guy, right? So all the 80s stuff by the time the technology came. So when I was growing up, I watched U2. I witnessed them embrace that. And I remember in 87, they came here around, Joshua Tree, and they were inspired by here. So what I bring definitely from what I do in Drumming Academy and stuff, and my own solo career, is work ethic, dedication, passion. I like to think good humor, and above all else, accessibility. You can do it.
Right.
That's because we're a small country. We didn't have drum shows.
Right.
We didn't have trade shows, but we did have lots of bars and venues to play. So we didn't have the gear, so we'd share gear. I bought all the drum magazines and dreamed about some of the gear I saw today. I just saw like a Ed Roth's Yamaha kit for sale,
That's
and I
awesome.
dreamed of that kit one time, and I got that kit.
Oh yeah.
The recording custom I did. So that's what I think Irish musicians and myself, I like to think, bring to the States. And what I like about you guys is you embrace that. You do like positivity when it comes across.
Oh yeah, of course. No.
Yeah.
Everybody, and especially everyone loves a good Irishman.
I appreciate that a lot.
Well, I do especially.
I
love-
appreciate that.
love
I'm
the
very embraced here, which I feel very lucky. I'm here 15 years, and from the first week I got here, people are very kind to me because I'm Irish. And then when they learn what I do, they take me in and follow my story. And so, through all, and then when social media came along,
Yeah.
it's easier to connect like this. We can connect after this. Whereas many years ago, 20 plus years ago, when I was on the circuit doing trade shows, it was exchanging business cards and hoping that someone would maybe
Someone would call,
email you,
yep.
write to you. But now we can instantly connect. And so that makes even what I'm trying to do, and we're all doing, easier. We can do this right now.
Yeah.
At this podcast, it's amazing. So congratulations for doing it.
Thank
It's
you.
awesome.
So you said you have your own solo project. Tell me
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit
yeah.
about it.
Yeah, so I launched 25 years ago. I launched drummingacademy.com.
Okay.
I was teaching for years, but I wanted to form something where I wanted to go, like where I could not just learn how to play drums, but I'd learn about equipment, how it works, learn how drums are made, the history of music, the evolution of the drum kit. So that's what Drumming Academy is. It's
That's awesome.
contemporary, tailored lessons to each individual, and that's been great. Separate to that, I realized myself as Rhythm Saint, so rhythmsaint.com. So I kind of separated my teaching and my own playing. So through rhythmsaint.com, I support myself, my family, all the drum companies that sponsor me.
That's
And then
awesome.
I also have a motivational coaching side of what I do. So I do music mentoring.
That's awesome.
It's been great.
That's so
And I'm
cool.
working on it all the time. You know,
Yeah.
I'm launching a podcast. I was telling Adam just now before I come on, I'm going to launch my own podcast, which is interviewing drummers about who they are on and off the drum kit.
Sure.
What hobbies they like, where they're from, you know, photography, cars, whatever it is you like to do. I think it's important when you're learning an instrument or learning a skill that you find out what that person did to get to where they are.
Oh no,
So I like that.
I
side of
agree
it.
completely because, well, I mean, you know, every drummer has their preferred way to set up a kit, and you'll know if it's like a millimeter off or what. We were just watching Ed Toth set up, and
Yeah,
he's like,
I
know
walk
it's off,
in
but
and
just
I
a
walk
little
in
bit.
straight away, and I'm like, that's sorted, as we say in Europe.
Yeah.
That's a setup that's
That's been done.
It's done, and
dusted, and you cannot change.
right, equidistant.
Yeah.
And you know, the ergonomics is there, the heights, you know, and I love the personality side of drum kits. You know, you can read someone's drum kit. It's your, I said on a post yesterday, it's how you represent yourself, and
Yeah.
your sound is your accent, and your how you play is what you say.
No,
you know.
100%.
And I encourage that. I encourage
Yeah.
you to go for it. I did a clinic at the store at Drums, etc. And the thing was about creative confidence, about how you can do that thing and express yourself even further. And I get excited about that, you know. So that's what Drumming Academy is all about. That's what Rhythm Saint is all about, and what I'm about. Completely encouraging you to be the drummer you want to be, not to be me
No,
at all.
no. I think that's a mistake a lot of musicians make is that they want to sound like Lars Ulrich
Sure,
or
which is great.
Which is great. Yeah,
Which
they
is
want
great.
They want to sound like these specific drummers, but they got to realize that, especially if you're in your own band, right? The band
Uh-huh.
has to have a particular sound.
Right.
Only Travis Barker give me Travis Barker.
Yeah, and what's beautiful about that is that's accessible now.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, the equipment now, I've said it every year for maybe 20 years, there's never been a better time to be a drummer.
yeah.
But I say it every year because it's actually true.
And it's still evolving.
It's just getting better all the time.
Drumming, acoustic drum set, as it were, it's only about 70 or so years old.
Right.
And there's still being innovations made. Like downstairs, I don't know if you saw, they have a pedal there with bearings in it.
Yep.
So that way you can like kick faster.
Absolutely.
And it's
Like-
great. It's cool.
Yeah, I'm artist relations and artist for Julius pedal, and I'm also a brand ambassador.
Okay.
It's a single pedal with 2 beaters, and
Really?
Kevin Mackey in Scotland invented it, and you got to check it out, the Duelist. And if anyone ever wants to try one, I'm the guy in North America, and they are legit. They're super well made. They're lightweight, and it's a single pedal with 2 beaters, and it has a lever, and you can have it on or off, and it's just great for creativity.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's
yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
So, I want to get into. I run a podcast where we delve into the stories of people like
Sure.
like you like. So
Sure.
I'm curious, what is one thing that you miss about Ireland that you wish was here in the U.S.?
That I will actually say the ability to go out any night, especially Thursday to Sunday, and there's a place to play. I see venues closing. I see venues that still do music, but the section in the venue that's allocated for bands is getting
Smaller
smaller.
and smaller.
And I'd like to see the return of that. We had that reduction at one time before I moved, but you could still play. I mean, a friend of mine, Mason's godfather, Kevin, he just sent me a video from last night. He's playing his show, and his drum kit can fit there. It's so I would like to see that. I'd like to see venues coming around again to give people a place to play.
Yeah, no, I really hope that does come back. It kind of shut down after COVID.
Right.
Kind of had so much to do with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think we're in a really good. Are you based in Lancaster?
I'm based in Catawissa, PA, near Bloomsburg, the university
Okay,
town.
okay.
An hour and a half from here.
Okay. So I guess you wouldn't really know about, but here I feel like there is a place to go every single night.
It seems good down here,
It's wonderful because there's like 5 cities located. You got York, Reading,
Right.
Lancaster, even Hershey's got stuff going on all the time.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. And obviously, if you go up to like New York or like Nashville, there's literally stuff going on all the time.
Sure. I lived in Nashville for 5 years.
How was that?
And it was a great experience because they've got amazing facilities and they're building a rock there right now.
That's right, they are.
You know, so I was very lucky to do shows like that and visit places like that. I'm a drum tech as well, and I could go downtown, see the best players in the world, and yeah, they have every resource you need in Nashville to be a musician, from studios to education. You know, they have it all, and so you just need that initial idea in the middle, and the rest can grow. It doesn't always have to be about money. You just need a bunch of people to get together. So obviously a place like this is being replicated around. I can see them doing it in Europe as well. I can see it happening.
Yeah, I would hope so. Tell me a little about your gear. What do you like to load out with?
Well, it depends what I'm doing. It's been funny the last 12 months because I've been having to look at my gear, and I'm doing cover bar gigs with a few different people. So, you know, I like to go 2 up, 2 down, similar to here. I do like big setups, but I in my practice, I shrink and grow.
Sure.
And I have a couple of custom sets of a Stuart Copeland set. A friend made me a Phil Collins set. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
actually able, I can say tomorrow I want to do a Phil Collins song, or I can take that kid out and do that.
That
And
is so cool.
that's just very fortunate. But that was a dream I had 30 years ago, where imagine having a Copeland setup,
Right.
a Collins setup, a Jeff Porcaro setup. So I like 2 up, 2 down for melody. You know, I like to be able to speak that way on the kit. Ideally, I love 2 snares. I'm very particular about sound, so you know, I like fresh heads and I like them to be tuned. I like time to tune them. So I'm a Paiste artist, and Paiste are here.
Sure.
And they've been very kind to me. And I use Paiste signatures exclusively. I love them. I use Evans heads. And so it's great to have that confidence to go out with these great instruments. Particularly on Tama. You know, I like other brands, of course, but I'm a Tama Star Classic guy.
That's what we just had Chris. He does Tom as well.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, Tama since I came to the States, and I'm very passionate about Tama drums because they're just so well made and sound so great. I mean, they're so easy to tune, so
That's
quick.
important.
And they hold it, yeah. So that's, you know, that said, I picked up a Tama Club Jam a few weeks ago. For the first time in my career, if I want, Mason comes and helps me. I can walk into the venue, cymbals on my back, and the shell pack and the hardware case. I can walk into the venue and be carried all in myself and be up in 20 minutes, done.
That's
And it
awesome.
sounds great. It's a little Tama Club Jam, little 18-inch bass drum, and it's great. And those kits were created because of what I said earlier, but it actually happens to look great and it does sound really well. And I throw a Yamaha EAD on it and it captures it, and it's great, you know. That's the technology thing again.
Yeah. So, what are you looking forward to in the next like 5-6 years for yourself?
Wow,
and,
that's a brilliant question.
Yeah.
And I've only started to think about that recently.
yeah,
Because
right.
I usually don't. I'm usually, you know.
Right.
So next year, definitely looking at some books, audio books thing. I really am going to do it because I've been talking about it, and I'm very purposeful, and we've had other distractions, and I'm going to do it. So I'm launching a podcast called iDrum. That's going to absolutely happen.
That's awesome.
I'm definitely going to build. I've been planning it for a few years. A Jeff Porcaro setup. That's going to happen probably in the summer because I'm very passionate about Jeff. Just expand rhythmsaint.com. A couple of different offerings with Drumming Academy. Tweaking that a little bit with pre-recorded videos of concepts that I think.
Right.
Everything's been done, so I'm trying to do stuff a little bit different. So I have a motivational side to what I do, and I think for mental health and people's confidence and stuff, I'm going to put that stuff out there. So I won't go 5 years. We're going to build a
sure.
studio,
Yep.
so that's within the 2-year period. I won't go 5 years out. My life is so
So
spontaneous.
now, yeah.
I could get a card here and now today, and it will change things. So next year is a big year, big year.
What's one of the techniques that you're still working on?
Hands, always.
Always.
Always hands. Every day I can. Hands, left hand. I'm big into hand-foot exercises.
Oh, yeah.
And groove. I put the metronome on and I still play 4. I still play pocket. And I do like to practice a lot of soloing. That's just something I like to do. So I'm always working on vocabulary and creativity.
That's something I've always been trying to work on as well. My rudiments,
Right.
it's always got to go back to rudiments,
Right.
Because they're so versatile. Where you can do a paradiddle in so many different ways,
Absolutely. There's so many variables.
so many variables.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and like the creative confidence thing I was doing for Adam and drums, etc. It's just saying, hey, look, don't put yourself under too much pressure. Play that one thing and play it different ways. Exit or play it with your feet. There's so many mathematical variables. And I was weak at math in school, but on the drum kit, I'm not.
well, that's okay. You only have to count to 4. And
Yeah, I can
sometimes
play in
6.
7
Oh, there
all
you
day
go.
long and whatever, but I was very poor at math in school, genuinely. But once I get on the kit or in business, it just seems to.
Clicks.
Probably because it's something I like.
That's
The
probably
brain
it.
shifts. But I think to help people with their confidence and their self-esteem turns you into a better drummer. I really believe
yeah.
that if you can be happy on the kit and happy with the person who's in front of you, and you feel like that person is carrying you rather than sitting on you, I think you can be better at anything.
No, I agree. I think that applies to most things, especially
Mm-hmm.
musicians, because, like you said, you are literally creating the environment, the noise that everybody else hears.
Yeah, joyful noise. You
yeah.
what you're dressing the room with.
Yeah, exactly.
And we'll go back to the small venues and stuff. And I have a sound man who's great. And when somebody says there's a drum show, that's what you've got to expect. And I'm talking about volume. I'm talking about being there. We're talking about big setups and small setups. When you're a drummer and you're asked to be somewhere by that person, they need to accept that that's what's going to be in the room. And I think a lot of confidence started to get lost, and kits started to get smaller, and people are starting to produce gear that's silent. And I think that has its place.
Sure.
But we still have to make that sound in the room. You still have to have that confidence in, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing. I'm not just a drummer.
Right.
I'm an artist, and I'm someone who creates.
I'm not just a dumb drummer banging on stuff.
So that's important to me
Yep.
too, to say to guys, when you're out there, like years ago I was playing with a bassist, and the singer he wanted us to play quieter. And the bassist said to me, and he played in the Police band in Dublin, he said, Aaron, there comes a point when you take the drums down so low, you might as well not be here. Play, he said, be you. And I took that on board. That was about 20 years ago. I took that on board. And I went, you know what, you're right. We don't have to be trashing it, but if we're there, we need to
Be
be
there.
heard. We
Yeah.
need to be heard. So that's all of it for me. It's just be there, be the space, be positive, and be your true self. And I think that's a beautiful thing about drumming. It's awesome.
No, I agree.
Hey, it's great to
Yeah,
talk
it's
to you,
good to
man.
talk to you too, man.
I'd love to talk to you more. I'm
Yeah.
going to go and say hi to Peisty
Please
and
do.
stuff. Thanks ever so much for your interest in
Plug
me,
yourself
and
one
well
more time.
done. Keep in touch with me.
Where can people find you? One more time.
Aaron Kennedy, rhythmsaint.com, drummingacademy.com, and of course, all the other platforms.